Next up, guys, we've got the prelim headliner, and it's a banger. We got Joshua Van taking on Kevin Borjas, and Joshua Van is a guy that I bet in his last fight. He got the W, got a split decision victory over Zalga Zumagulov, ZZ Top, in that UFC debut. And this guy's fun. He's got good finishing instincts on the regional scene. He's got some wins by knockout, some wins by submission. So he's willing to go out there and mix it up. He's been submitted in Fury FC back in 2021. So he's not a world beater. He's not a guy that's, impossible to get one over on. That was by 0-0 Devin and Jackson, who's now a 3-1 professional MMA fighter. But still, he's a guy who stayed very active since that loss in 2021. He's rattled off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight wins coming into this fight with Kevin Borjas. Now, Borjas is a guy that really impressed me. Came out there as a big underdog, got the unanimous decision victory over Victor Diaz on the Contender Series. And prior to doing so, his only loss as a professional, also by submission, that was back in 2019. He has not been quite as active here as Joshua Van, but here's what's an interesting quirk. Joshua Van was supposed to fight Kevin Borjas on the Contender Series, and then he ended up getting signed to step up on short notice against Zalgas. So then Joshua Van was supposed to fight Hickson Zendim. He ends up settling to fight Victor Diaz, And Victor Diaz, if you guys remember, was, I believe, a training partner of Pantoja. I think he came in with some hype and some acclaim, one of the bigger favorites on the card. He was able to get the upset victory there. So I don't know as much about these guys' games. They're young. They're guys that come in from Contender Series, but it looks like everybody is piling on the Joshua Van side of things. And, I'm not really sure why that is. He's 22 years of age. He's done a great job so far. But what do we know about 22-year-olds? They're not done growing physically. 22-year-olds can continue to grow physically until they're 25 years of age, as males. Shout out to my guy, Marcel, one of the original homies as well. Shout out to everybody rocking with us in the chat. 43 people rocking with us as we just begin to discuss this prelim portion of the event. And I think that Joshua Van has a bright future. I think he wins many more UFC fights, but split decision with August Zumagulov doesn't tell me that you're, a world beater. Doesn't tell me you're going to go out there and every time get the win. And I do think that we've seen Peruvian MMA on the rise. We've seen these guys go out there and perform above expectations, go out there, put it on the line. So I think Joshua Van, interesting skill set, but last time out, he's a plus 180. This time out, he's a minus 250. Big change of direction here from the market. So I'm going to do a little more due diligence on this fight. But certainly looks to me like a little bit of aggressive pricing on two very inexperienced guys, less than 10 fights combined apiece. So, it just seems like a fun fight, competitive scrap, but I'm not sure that I'm selling Borjas down the river yet, like a lot of the market wants to. Let's just look at some of the intangibles here. Borjas going to be 25 years of age, same height, 3-inch reach advantage. I mean, what about that screams minus 250 to everybody? I'm not sure. So I'll have to dig into the tape and see exactly where we come up with these lines, because that does seem a little aggressive to me.